Have you ever felt like you're just watching life from the sidelines, completely disconnected from everyone and everything?
That's exactly where we find Susumu Nakoshi.
He's a man who has erased himself from the world.
Once a successful professional, he now lives out of his car, parked in a limbo between luxury apartments and a homeless park. He's not rich, not poor.
Not really alive, but not dead either.
He's a ghost in his own life, a silent observer watching the world go by through his windshield.
Nakoshi's past is a mystery, a life he intentionally abandoned. He's chosen this state of nothingness, believing it's a form of freedom.
But true freedom is the last thing he has. He's trapped in a prison of his own making, a self-imposed exile from human connection. He spends his days talking to other homeless men, sharing stories that might not even be true, creating a new identity from the ashes of his old one. But this fragile existence is about to be shattered. One night, a strange, charismatic young man knocks on his car window.
His name is Manabu Aitio, a wealthy and eccentric medical student.
Aitio is obsessed with a bizarre theory. He believes our deepest traumas, our hidden anxieties and desires, actually have a physical form.
He calls these manifestations homunculi. According to Aitio, every person walks around with an invisible, often monstrous, version of their true self, a psychological creature shaped by their inner pain.
And Aitio has a way to see them. He's looking for a volunteer for an ancient, radical procedure called trepanation.
It involves drilling a small hole into the skull. Aitio claims this will release the pressure on the brain and unlock a sixth sense, allowing the subject to perceive these hidden homunculi. It sounds completely insane, right?
Who would ever agree to that?
Well, Aitio isn't just offering a wild theory.
He's offering a substantial amount of money. For Nakoshi, who has nothing left to lose and a growing pile of bills, the offer is strangely tempting.
He's bored, empty, and desperate for anything to make him feel something again. Maybe this is the shock to the system he needs. Against his better judgment, against every rational thought, Nakoshi agrees.
He takes the money and puts his life and his sanity in Aitio's hands.
The procedure is as brutal and terrifying as it sounds. In a sterile, makeshift operating room, Aitio performs the trepanation. When Nakoshi wakes up, the hole in his head is bandaged, and at first, everything seems normal. He feels cheated, thinking it was all a scam.
He walks out into the bustling streets of Tokyo, ready to put this strange chapter behind him. But then, he closes one eye.
And the world transforms into a nightmare. A woman walking her dog is no longer human. She's a creature made of sand, constantly shifting and crumbling. A group of high school girls are linked together, their bodies fused into a single, grotesque entity.
A powerful Yakuza boss isn't a man at all, but a giant, clanking robot, powered by gears and logic, completely devoid of emotion.
Nakoshi is seeing them.
He's seeing the homunculi.
He panics, convinced he's losing his mind.
The city has become a gallery of horrors, and every person is a monster. Aitio, however, is ecstatic.
His experiment worked. He calmly explains that what Nakoshi is seeing isn't a hallucination.
These are the true shapes of people's souls, their psychological selves made visible.
The Sand Woman is obsessed with her own fragility. The connected girls share a toxic group identity. The robot gangster has suppressed his humanity to survive his violent world. Nakoshi tries to shut it off, to go back to his numb, quiet life.
But he can't. A morbid curiosity takes over.
He starts to interact with these monsters.
He approaches the Yakuza robot and discovers a man haunted by a childhood trauma that forced him to become cold and mechanical. He talks to a young woman whose homunculus is a distorted, waterlogged version of herself, and learns she is drowning in guilt over a past mistake.
A strange pattern emerges. When Nakoshi helps these people confront their pain, when he shows them empathy and understanding, their monstrous forms begin to change.
The robot starts to show cracks, revealing the human heart inside.
The waterlogged girl begins to dry out, her features returning to normal. Nakoshi has become a reluctant therapist, a confessor for the damned.
By seeing their inner demons, he holds up a mirror that allows them to finally heal. But this new ability comes at a terrible cost.
The more he uses it, the more the lines between reality, memory, and hallucination begin to blur.
His own past, the one he tried so hard to bury, starts to bleed into his present.
Fragments of his former life, a beautiful girlfriend, a successful career, a devastating event resurface in jarring, terrifying flashes.
He's losing his grip, his own mind becoming as unstable as the homunculi he sees.
The power is consuming him.
He can't tell what's real anymore.
Is he healing others, or is he just projecting his own brokenness onto them?
The world becomes a fluid, unreliable landscape of nightmares.
And then, the moment he has been dreading arrives. He catches his reflection in a window, and for the first time, he sees his own homunculus. What he sees is the most horrifying creature of all. It's a distorted, twisted version of himself, but with a crucial difference. It's incomplete. It's a man who has split himself in two, desperate to separate from his own identity, his own guilt, his own past.
His homunculus is a living embodiment of self-hatred and denial.
In that single, terrifying image, Nakoshi understands the truth.
This journey was never about seeing the monsters in others.
It was always about being forced to finally see the monster within himself. The entire experiment, the people he met, it all led back to the one person he was running from, Susumu Nakoshi. He realizes that true horror isn't seeing a distorted world. It's the moment you finally recognize your own distorted reflection in it. Homunculus is a chilling exploration of the idea that we are all broken and that sometimes the only way to heal is to drill a hole in your head and face the monster you've become. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by stories that dive deep into the human psyche, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for more content like this. Let me know in the comments what you think about this wild journey into the mind. See you next time.